You guys are awesome. Now, let's celebrate this milestone. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, not to be confused with the Chuck Norris movie, or the Netflix show, or the book. This is the second Hellraiser film put into production while the first one was in production. Clive Barker would still have been involved, but he was too busy getting studio interference at Nightbreed to be more involved. One highlight reel of the ending of the first film later, and we cut to 1920s Army base where you meet Elliot Spencer. He solves the puzzle box, and just as you realize he's played by Doug Bradley, he gets turned into Pinhead. Then we cut to right after the events of the first film. Kirsty's now in the hospital, and the police mention they found a bloody mattress. Kirsty doesn't like this because she says Julia died there even though she didn't. She was stabbed by Frank on the stairwell. The Dr. Channard, played by Kenneth Kramheim, and Kyle, played by William Hope, shows up to tell my cousin Kirsten she's crazy. Then she breaks out, and she finds some blonde girl. Then Kyle finds them and tells Kirsty that nude over there is Tiffany. She's mute, but great at puzzles. Kirsty goes back to bed at this, but then sees a bloody message from who she thinks is her dad. She tells Kyle, and Kyle goes to talk to Dr. Channard, but overhears him calling someone about the mattress. One recap about the Cenobites later, and Kyle breaks into Channard's place and finds out that he knows everything and has 3 puzzle boxes somehow. Now Kyle has to hide because Channard brings back homework, sacrifices one of his patients on the mattress, and resurrects Julia, who's in the same kind of boat as Frank from the first film. But Channard decides to change it up and has her cosplay as the Invisible Woman. Imagine kissing without lips. Kyle runs back, tells Kirsty, and the two break in again. Kirsty finds a photo of Elliot Spencer, and Kyle finds a bunch of dead bodies. Then Julia kills and eats William Hope, and Channard brings in Tiffany. She's played by Imogen Borman from Dream Child. The only other thing she's done besides these 2 films really is Public Intoxication. I don't like the name Imogen, it just sounds like you misspelled imagine. Channard forces Tiffany to open the puzzle box, which she does rather easily, and summons the Cenobites. Man who just got back from the dentist, CeeLo Green, drama teacher, and that guy from that episode of Billy and Mandy. But he actually stops the others from attacking Tiffany. He's smart enough to know that Tiffany was forced to open the box, and the only thing that drives them is desire. Which is a pretty cool concept. They don't just hack and slash people at random, they have a motive. Even though in the first film they really wanted Kirsty, even though she really did not want them to. And the rest of the franchise will forget about this. So yeah, they just kind of leave. But they accidentally left the door open, so all the main characters run in after them. And with Tiffany, we learn that hell is actually a circus. Sweet. And in a funhouse, Tiffany learns that her mom gave her to Channard. Then Channard killed Tiffany's mom because he really wanted Tiffany to solve the puzzle box. Meanwhile, Kirsty's trying to banish the Cenobites, but it doesn't work because they're already in their realm in a music video. So Pinhead turns the puzzle box into a puzzle diamond as the Cenobites keep spinning around in a dark void. Meanwhile, the villains are walking around, and it turns out hell is actually a labyrinth. And at the center of this painting is a giant diamond emitting black light and God in Morse code named Leviathan. And Leviathan sent Julia back because she wants souls. So Julia shoves Channard in the makeup box. Meanwhile, Kirsty finds Tiffany and they both find the house from the first film. And plot twist, it's actually inhabited by Frank. And he was the one who sent the bloody message. And this was changed because originally it was meant to be Larry from the first film, but he decided not to return for some reason, so they had to change it to Frank. And it kind of feels like they filmed everything with intentions that it was supposed to be Larry up until this point, and they're like, ah, crap. So one rewrite and one tussle later, Kirsty sets fire to the place. But oh no, Julia has Tiffany. And then Julia rips out Frank's heart, which again would make more sense if it was Larry, not Frank, but whatever. Chris and Tiff escape, but oh no, it's really windy out, which blows Julia away. Meanwhile, Channard finally exits the makeup booth, and he looks kind of like a new Pinhead, but actually is inspired by Freddy Krueger and surprisingly RoboCop. And then he gets attached to Leviathan via a 15-foot KY jelly and herpes-covered mechanical penis. Meanwhile, the two girls escaped, but oh no, all the patients now have puzzle boxes, and hell's starting to spill into Earth, and Channard shows up somehow. So the girls run away, again, right into the Cenobites. Very unnoticeably, but Chatterer here is actually a new mask, with eyes for once. Via the request of the actor in the suit, there was actually meant to be a scene that was scripted where we saw Chatterer get upgraded to have eyes, but it was never filmed. They're about ready to slash up Kirsty because they really want the main character. But then she shows Pinhead a photo of Elliot Spencer, and Pinhead's like, "Oh yeah, I used to be human. That was weird." So when Channard shows up, they decide to fight against him and get easily defeated and turn back human, and all but Pinhead are different actors. And apparently Chatterer was a teenager. So Tiffany goes back in to try and solve the puzzle and close hell. I think Channard can just teleport at this point. With his nasty palm tentacles, each one with a worse stabby thing sticking out of it than the last. Then Julia shows up out of nowhere and distracts Channard, long enough so Tiffany can solve the puzzle box, which closes Leviathan and rips Channard's head apart. Tiffany falls over the side and Julia saves her. And plot twist, it's actually Kirsty wearing Julia's skin. That's nasty. Oh yeah, Leviathan's closing, so now they have to run, again, away from the lasers. And they do. Happy ending. But before the credits roll, the movers from the first movie are clearing out Channard's place. And one of them gets eaten by the mattress, which spouts out a pillar of flesh covered in character faces, random props, and Halloween decorations. Final body count? 30. That's pretty high. And that was the Hellbound horror Hellraiser. This movie's awesome. Just like the first film, it's very unique, especially for its time. The depiction of hell in this movie is very original. The effects are fantastic. Channard's a great villain. He's such a terrible person and determined to get what he wants. The music's amazing. And overall, I honestly kind of like this film more than the original. Yeah, it's not perfect, but nothing is. Out of 10, I'll give it definitely a 10 out of 10. This is one of the best horror sequels ever made. And I highly recommend it. Too bad it's also the peak of the franchise.